Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and now here I am for Halloween to finish off my classic monster movie reviews. And with my final review of these movies, here I am with a review for Creature from the Black Lagoon. So like I told you in my last review, this is kind of a different. This is kind of different from the other ones that I've already done, like with Frankenstein and Wolfman and all the other ones. Yeah, this is kind of a really sort of different type of story than a lot of those films, but this is still a film of pretty much a monster, really. Yeah, and I thought that this was overall a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's definitely a really what I needed. I really needed a huge redeemer after all the crappy Frankenstein movies that I've had to watch with the last few sequels. So yeah, this was definitely a redeemer from that. And yeah, this was a pretty good movie. So yeah, like I said, it is a pretty kind of a different type of story than the other ones. Yeah, basically with this film, what it really is there's some scientists on a voyage and stuff, and as they pass by a lagoon, they end up seeing this unusual type of creature that really is really just a gill creature entirely covered with gills. And yeah, it's basically he basically has the same motivation as a lot of these other monsters, where he just sees the beautiful girl and just is really targeting the beautiful girl. And yeah, it is a pretty interesting story. It's basically a not really a mad scientist story, but a story about a bunch of other scientists, like a geologist and a ichthyologist, and yeah, just a bunch of other type of scientists in this film that are basically on a voyage. And uh, yeah, I think that overall the story for this movie, it is pretty good, and yeah, it is a pretty good movie. I mean, I thought that this was a really interesting tale, because yeah, it's really not really a whole lot of stories like this, where it's basically this a mysterious underwater creature coming to the surface and just really killing people. Yeah, I kind of find this is kind of a film that sort of inspired Jaws in a way. That's kind of the way I feel about this, because yeah, this, like I said, this gill mysterious creature is coming from the water, and yeah, this basically lives underwater, and he's trying to bring the beautiful girl down to his lair and stuff. And so yeah, it is a pretty good film with a pretty interesting sort of plot, and yeah, a really different type of story than the other films that I've reviewed in this series of reviews. So yeah, overall I think it is a pretty good film. I would give it probably 3.5 stars out of 4. I mean, it is definitely a really good film. So yeah, let me just talk about the film. So yeah, the film opens up. It shows that there's a geology exposition in the Amazon, and it's showing one of the things that have been discovered on this voyage is this web-fingered skeletal hand, and that is from the Devonian period. Yeah, and it's basically providing a direct link of land and sea animals combined and stuff. Yeah, yeah. And then the leader of the exposition, Dr. Carl Maya, ends up visiting a marine biology institute, and as he's there, one of his former students, Dr. David Reed, who's an ichthyologist, yeah, he's working in an aquarium in California, but he is a he's also studying lungfish and Maya's Institute in Brazil and stuff. Yeah, and yeah, basically like they're like trying to convince like Reed, Dr. Reed's boss, like Dr. Mark Williams, to try to like refund like an expedition for them to return to the Amazon to find the remaining pieces of the skeleton that they uncovered. Yeah. And eventually, like, it shows that there's like this really unusual type of creature who's like an amphibious humanoid type of creature that is like ends up like being like a still a living member of the same species that of the type of fossil that they discovered. Yeah. And then he ended up like paying a visit to Dr. Maya's camp, and then like he ended up like frightening like a couple of Dr. Maya's assistants that were still at the camp, and they started to freak out, and then like that just ended up causing the creature to really enrage. And yeah, he ended up killing the two assistants. And yeah, eventually they end like later on, like they ended up like sailing off on an expedition in which yeah it consisted of like Dr. Reed, he then Dr. Maya, as well as Dr. Williams, and yeah it also had like Dr. Reed's like girlfriend Kay ended up joining them too, as well as like Dr. Edwin Thompson, who was like another type of scientist. Yeah. But when they arrived back at Dr. Maya's camp, they found the killed assistants, and then like the captain of the ship that they were sailing on, which was known as the Rita, their captain like Lucas, he felt that it could have been a jaguar that actually did it, but everyone else wasn't sure. Yeah. And then like as they really didn't really have any luck on their voyage, like they just had like no other type of like pieces of the fossil in the same area that they found the first one in. Like they were like starting to give up the search, but then like they just felt that like thousands of years prior, the part of the place where the rest of the skeleton was might have actually fallen into the water and could actually be washed away and stuff. And yeah, but yeah, eventually like Dr. Maya then just like was starting to talk about the tributary empties in a lagoon, which then like Lucas referred to that as the Black Lagoon, which like nobody has actually returned from it. Yeah. And but the scientists decided to take the risk to travel to the Black Lagoon to look continue on with their voyage. Right, yeah, but yeah, and yeah, eventually like they end up like arriving at the Black Lagoon, and eventually like the creature ended up like noticing Kay, and so the creature like ended up like following all down river to the lagoon. Yeah. And as like they were like continuing with their expedition and stuff, like like it showed that Kay later on was like swimming in the lagoon, and she ended up like being actually stalked by the creature. And yeah, the creature actually ended up like being spotted, and he like was like briefly caught in a dragline of the ship, but ended up escaping. But it showed that there was like a claw left behind inside of the net, and then that revealed that the creature that the expedition was looking for is like still existing. And as the crew like was just like continuing to have some encounters with the creature, it ended up like killing other crew members of the Rita. And eventually they ended up like capturing the creature and just locking it up. Yeah. But like later on that night, the creature ended up escaping and attacked Dr. Thompson. I said, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, but before the creature could actually finish off Dr. Thompson, Kay ended up just like driving the creature off after she smashed a lantern over the creature. And after this, like Dr. Williams really just like had an obsession with capturing and even killing the creature. And later on, like as they were trying to leave the lagoon, they like saw that the entrance to the lagoon was like blocked up by some logs, yeah. Which yeah, the creature ended up doing, yeah. And yeah, they were just like trying to like move the logs, but then like later on, like Dr. Williams ended up like being like attacked by the creature and just ended up being killed after like Dr. Williams was like actually trying to like capture the creature on his own while they were underwater. Yeah. And eventually like the as they were like trying to actually capture the creature, it eventually like just ended up like sneaking aboard the Rita, and yeah, he ended up like abducting Kay and just took her underwater down to his lair. Yeah. But yeah, Dr. Reed, Lucas, and Dr. Maya all gave chase to the creature, and they like chased the creature down to the lair, and they ended up like saving Kay, and then just ended up like shooting the creature more, and then before the creature then just ended up just like bailing down into the lagoon, but then it just showed that the creature basically was just ended up killed and just ended up like sinking down to the depths of the water. And yeah, the movie just ended like that. So yeah, I guess like they just ended up accomplishing what they needed to do, and they just finally just destroyed the creature for good. And yeah, they just yeah their voyage I guess ended in success I guess. So yeah, like I said, 3.5 stars out of 4. I mean, it definitely was like a really good movie, a very interesting story to it, and yeah, definitely like a big redeemer from like the last few movies I've had to see. Yeah, this is definitely like a pretty good movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen this before, and if you're a fan of these like monster movies, I would probably recommend this. Yeah, this will definitely like entertain you for the time it is. Yeah, you'll definitely be entertained if you watch this. So yeah. Well, that's all I can really say. So yeah, I do recommend this film if you haven't seen it before. It definitely is like a really good movie. Alright, so yeah, that does it for my review of The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and that does it for these classic monster movie reviews. I hope you guys did enjoy these classic monster movie reviews for those of you who did tune into these reviews, and I hope that you enjoyed like them being in black and white like this. Yeah, I just thought that since these are classic movies and yeah, these are just like known for being in black and white, I just thought it would be interesting to like film these videos in black and white. So yeah, I hope you guys thought that this was like sort of an interesting way of doing these by filming these in black and white. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys really did enjoy these monster movie reviews for those of you who did like tune in for these and those of you who were following them throughout the month. So yeah. So I hope you guys did enjoy these reviews. So yeah, anyway, alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.